shit, but I ain't strong and I'm weak. But y'all don't try to rinse my heart, purify my soul. It's refined season from the furnace, I'm coming out like gold. And I won't complain. And it came from the rain. And I won't complain. Purpose of purpose in my pain, and I've overcame. Every song that he done brought me through, he done brought me through. Oh, yeah, me thank you. Refilling my cup, it can be singing. Yeah, ooh, I will enjoy. I will enjoy, and I won't complain. I will not complain. I won't complain. Ooh, I endure. I'm trusting in you, singing our praises to your name. Watching these mountains be moved, seeing these chains break loose. I know what prayer can do. I'm on my knees, I've been stitched deep. I know I'm bleeding. I know what he said, so in remembrance of what he said. He's the God that lived not today. He's the lifter up of my head. I said nothing, but I feel him deep when I hear him speaking. Fellowship, it got me speaking. So sad from the feasting. I had a sweet chase, I see his face, I'm out your racing. Grace and mercy, I can taste it. So I'm gonna walk it by faith. He touched my soul, I feel him close like he's right next to me. So do all things without dispute and cease the murmuring. I found him, 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 I found him. Oh, I will endure, and I won't complain. I won't complain. I won't complain. I won't complain. Got me singing. Ooh, I will endure. I will endure. I will endure. All praise to the Most High for my afflictions, trials, and tribulations. All praise. Wow.
All right. Peace and blessings. Shabbat shalom to everybody who's tuning in. I pray the week was prosperous in every way for everybody. We thank the Most High, the creator of the heavens, of the earth, the seas, and everything that's in them. It's a time to be alive, seeing the signs of the times, many things going on several fronts, brothers and sisters, but we here by the mercy, the patience, and the grace of the Father, allowing us to see and witness these things real time. All praise to the Most High. As you come in, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and what that does for anybody who need to hear the word, it'll alert them so that they can hear it. If it's something that you already aware of, but within the message, a lot of times it's information that our brothers and sisters are not aware of. So we want to sound the alarm to be watchmen for the nation, for our people, watching for the souls of our brothers and sisters, so we can be mindful of what's going on and where we at in a time of prophecy. Shabbat Shalom to Reuben Ingram, truth be told, Yanika, Toya, Israel, Judah, everybody else who will tune in. Salute your brothers and sisters that's in the comments as well. Trying to see if it's in it. Okay, yeah. And before we jump into the message, the song that was played was by Lenoya. There was I Won't Complain. She just released the album. You can find her album online at lenoyagotthecookup.net. You know, do your shopping after the Sabbath, of course, though. Can you got anything we need to know before we jump into the message?
No, sir. You can go move right along.
Indeed. I'll pray to the Most High. So, brothers and sisters, what we wanted to talk about today is the signs of the times, things that's going on. Seeing the hand of the adversary working through these different situations. There's on a world stage, even situations that's being categorized as being staged. One of those events being the mass shooting that was in Buffalo, taking place by Peyton Gendron or Gendron, however you want to pronounce his name, an 18-year-old heathen that drove 3.5 hours from Conklin, New York to Buffalo, New York, to a predominantly Israelite location in a store, which was the Top supermarket, and he killed 10 people, injured an extra 3 so there's a total of 13 people that was affected by it on hand. Now, aside from that, if I can show it, I'm coming through a different streaming today, brothers and sisters, through the cam link. So I don't know if I'll be able to share the screen like I usually do, but I'm gonna try. But it's a picture that you can find. Let's see if I can show it. I try it like this. It's a picture of what Peyton wrote on his rifle. Now y'all ain't better see it, but he got the number 14 on the rifle though. So we looking at the number 14. I'm thinking that he intended to kill 14 people. He wasn't successful. So now we see the mass shooting in Texas with the another 18-year-old. He actually killed 14 people. All right. So like I'm looking at y'all in the comments.
I really can. That morning I thought about the active shooter module. We have a work as I got out. My opposite Most High was trying to show me it was going to be a mass shooting that day. He always warned.
Yeah, indeed, I'll praise him. He definitely will warn us. So just like that, just linking it, seeing that these things, they all link together. And as I understand, we have to be aware of what our foes and adversaries and enemies do, and just applying Sirach 5 and 15, being not ignorant in any matter, small or great. The adversary, they deal with numbers. You know, as much as we supposed to be spiritual and things around us supposed to constantly remind us of the Most High, the enemy and his soldiers, they do that. They make sure that things that they have constantly remind them of who they serve and that it glorifies them. The highest form of worship is to be a living sacrifice. All right. So I'm saying that to say the number 14, when I looked into it for numerology, it lined up with saying that it's a time where slaves will be restored to power. It also said it is a transition and a transformation from troubled times into a peaceable time. And that's where the children of Israel are at. So we're seeing a lot of stuff go on, but it's all working for the good of the saints, brothers and sisters. Let's keep that in mind. All right, what you want to start off with, Shem?
Give me, let me see here. Give me Lamentations 4 and 18.
All right.
Lamentations 4 and 18.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 18 is where we're going to, bro. So get your books, your pads, and your pens if you ain't got them right now. Get your highlighters. You want to write these verses down and have them in your notes to go over them after the message and even during the message. Lamentation chapter 4, verse 18. And the reason it says they hunt our steps.
Hold on, they hunt our steps. When you are you know, when a lion is hunting, he's real. He don't let you know that he finna attack first.
Right.
They plot. Same way as our enemies do us. Read, King.
Lamentation chapter 4, verse 18. They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled. For our end is come.
When you look at the communities that the Israelites dwell in, our end has came. We at the end of every aspect of this
the government's agenda, pretty much, or the way of life here in America and throughout the four corners of the world. The Israelites are oppressed. Our end has come. That's why we should be we ain't the head, we the tail. We at the bottom. That's signifying our end. Read on, King.
Verse 19, our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven.
And they quick to kill us. And when they kill us, guess what? Most times, especially if they in a higher position, they don't even get charged for that. Read, King.
They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness.
Read on, King.
The breath of our nostrils, the anointed of the Most High, was taken in their pits, of whom we said, under his shadow we shall live among the heathen.
Read on.
Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked.
Read on.
The punishment of thine iniquity.
See, for them doing all these evil things that they have done to us, guess what? They don't get away. You get by, you don't get away. Look at the state of the economy. Look what's going on right now. Read, King.
The punishment of thine iniquity.
The punishment of your sin, read.
Is accomplished. O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity.
Read on.
He will visit thine iniquity. O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins.
Read on. Verse 5, chapter 5, verse 1.
Chapter 5, verse 1. Remember, O Holy One, what is come upon us? Consider and behold our reproach.
This is what we should be praying to the Most High. Instead of going against each other and doing the things that we doing, arguing about different doctrine, we should be doing what? Can you read?
Remember, O Holy One, what is come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach.
We should be all bound together, giving our complaint to the Most High, that be praying that this kingdom fall even faster than it's falling. But let us be prepared when they do fall. Read, King.
Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
Our inheritance is turned to strangers. Where your 40 acres in the middle lit? Read.
Our houses to aliens.
Our house has been transferred to aliens. They call us immigrants. They tell the Mexicans they immigrants, but they the real strangers. They the real immigrants. They the strangers. Read, King.
We are orphans and fatherless.
We are orphans and fatherless. What does that mean? What does that mean? Fatherless. When you look around, especially in the black community, we are fatherless. It's headed by what? A single mother most of the time. Read, King.
Our mothers are as widows.
Our mothers as what?
As widows.
They are as widows. Meaning what? They don't have their protection at home. Why? The laws that have been passed in this country. Our men being, incarcerated at a higher rate than any other ethnic group. All these things play a part into why the children of Israel are in such a condition that we are in. However, all these things that's been put up on us is slowly coming to an end, and it's about to be reversed. Read, King.
We have drunken our water for money.
We got to go. That's why you pay a water bill. Read that again, King.
We have drunken our water for money.
And we have drunken our water for money. Read, King.
Our wood is sold unto us.
So we got to go. Not only is the Most High put us, we had plenteous. You gotta understand how hard we have fallen as a people. We have fell very hard as a people. Now we have to buy our water from strangers. Now we have to go pay a mortgage to get a home. When you had wood, the finest cedar, the finest oak, when you could just come together as a community, build your own. We had all those things, but it was taken away from us. Why? Because of our disobedience. Read, King.
Our necks are under persecution.
Man, our necks under persecution. Read on.
We labor and have no rest.
We labor and have no rest. That's why you wake up in the morning, you can't wait till the weekend. But guess what? You right on Sunday, you back thinking, oh man, it's work again. I got work. King, give me keep reading on to that. Keep reading on. I'm getting somewhere here.
All right, verse 6, he says, we have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread.
Read on.
Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities.
We have borne our forefathers' iniquities. But you know what the blessing is, King? The blessing is this here. That he said in the last days, knowledge will be increased. That's how our grandmothers and great grandmothers, they didn't know these things. But due to technology, man, this wisdom has advanced us so much that the children of Israel, we are waking up. So this is the blessing. So what we watching, y'all, even though we see that what happened in Buffalo, New York, we see the Edomite go in and kill the innocent people, just gun them down like it was nothing. Gun them down like it was nothing. But just know that it's gonna come a time where all these things gonna be returned upon their head. Thus say the Most High God. Read, King.
Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities.
Yeah.
Servants have ruled over
Man, we got
us.
servants ruling over us. We're not in our rightful position. We not. What school system you on? You run? What jail system do you run? We have to get everything from, you want a birth certificate, you got to go to them. You want a permit to build, you got to go to them. You want education, you have to go to them. You want a job, you have to go to them. Read, King.
Verse 9. With verse 8 again. Servants have ruled over us. There is none that doeth deliver us out of their hand.
And ain't nobody trying to save us. Not your crooked politician, not your president, not your senator, not your church leader, nothing. They can't deliver us out of his hand. Read, King.
We get our bread with the peril of our lives.
Read on.
Because of the sword of the wilderness.
Read on.
Our skin was black like an oven.
That's how you know we the children of Israel. Read.
Because of the terrible famine. They ravished the women in Zion.
And our women have been raped and ravished and taken and sold, and everything under the sun has been done to our very own women. So when we look at this situation where we see this economy collapsing, we see these things unfolding, be of a good cheer. Be of a good cheer, people. Give me Amos chapter 3, verse 6, King. Because it's all the will of the Most High. And I'm going to prove this to you. Amos chapter 3, verse 6.
The book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 6. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city?
Matter of fact, start at verse 1, King. My apologies.
All right. Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Most High have spoken against you, O children of Israel.
No, the Chinese man.
O children of Israel.
No, the Hamite.
O children of Israel.
No, the Edomite.
O children of Israel. Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known.
The Most High know us. That's a blessing in itself. That should motivate us to want to do right, to want to do better. Read.
Of all the families of the earth.
So of all the families of the earth, why have you ever asked yourself, why are we the ones that suffering? Out of all the people on the earth, on the face of the earth, why is it us that pack the ghettos? Why is us that have the poorest education, the poorest paying job? Why is it us that catch so much hell? Why is it us that get shot down by the police? Read, King.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Who punishing us?
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Read on.
Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Because we agree. See, when we walk in, what that means is, look, you in agreement to whatever you do. You in agreement to whatever you do. You in agreement with it. That's why, we don't come up here and say that we, that it ain't no sin among us, and we ain't, we don't got cleansing to do. We do. But read that again, King.
Amos chapter 3, verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
So we got to separate ourselves from sin. And that's for sure. Read on.
Will a lion roar in the forest when he have no prey? Will a young lion cry out of his den if he have taken nothing?
Read.
Can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth where no gin is for him?
Read.
Shall one take up a snare from the earth and have taken nothing at all?
Read.
Shall a trumpet be blown in the city?
Should a trumpet be blown in the city? This is like if you hear a tornado siren being blown in the city. You know what? It's a tornado. Read, King.
And the people not be afraid?
Read.
Shall there be evil in the city?
Should it be evil in the city?
And the Most High have not done it.
Who have not done it?
And the Most High have not done it.
Who have not done it?
And the Most High have not done it.
Read.
Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
Okay, pause right there. It say, has it been evil in the city? and the Most High not done it. I'm gonna give you one of the evil things that's taking place right now. Give me Matthew chapter 24, verse 19, King.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 19. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
Woe unto them that are what?
Are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day.
The scriptures say, man, woe unto them that give suck in those days. Look at these days. What days is he talking about? Give me Matthew 24 and 6, King.
Matthew 24, verse 6.
What days are the Most High talking about? He said, woe unto them that give suck in those days. Read, King.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation.
Nation against nation. We're seeing it right now with China and Taiwan, Russia and Ukraine. America putting themselves in the war, donate $40 billion to help fight the war, pulling themselves into the war. We see these things taking place, read, King.
And kingdom against kingdom.
And you're going to see kingdom against kingdom, meaning what? Like I said, World War III, read, King.
And there shall be famines.
It should be what?
And shall be famines.
Man, name a time when you heard that it was baby formula in the last 30-some years you've been alive. A baby formula shortage. Go back to what I have, Matthew 24, 19.
Matthew 24, verse 19. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
Man, these the days that he's talking about right now that we are describing in these chapters right now. When he say woe to those that get sucked in those days, and then we go back in Matthew when we read that it's gonna be a great famine and it's gonna be wars everywhere. Hosea 4 and 6 came. Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed.
Notice he keeps saying, my people, possessive pronouns, right? Mine, this is me, this is mine, this belongs to me, my mouse. So the Most High, we are a special people to the Most High. Read.
My people are destroyed.
Man, we are destroyed for what?
For lack of knowledge.
For lack of knowledge. Read on.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Because you reject when a person tell you, hey, you're an Israelite, bro. We aren't supposed to do this. We aren't supposed to do that. Oh, man, go. I don't want to hear that. Read.
I will also reject thee.
And he going to also reject thee. But how is he going to reject you? Read.
That thou shalt be no priest to me.
Read.
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children.
He going to also forget who?
Thy children.
Thy children. So the Most High, you might, got the smart mouth or whatever, or just say to hell with what the Most High say, but because of your stiff neck, read that, King.
Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children.
He's gonna also forget thy children. You know how sad it is to have the Most High forget your children with these school shootings going on, all this stuff. Even though we know some of this stuff is kind of iffy, we ain't gonna get into all that. But you don't never want to jeopardize the hedge and the protection of your children by disobeying the Most High God. So in order to be able to withstand all these things that's gonna take place, Proverbs 7 verse 2 came. Because it's finna happen, y'all. Matter of fact, it's happening now. Look at the gas prices in your city right now. Gas prices through the roof. These things was prophesied in the Bible. Food prices through the roof. Rent prices through the roof. All these different things are the scourges from the Most High God. Read, King.
Hosea chapter
Proverbs 7,
Proverbs chapter 7 verse 2. Keep my commandments and live.
Man, that's the only way out of it. This for me, you, everybody. Keep his commandments and live. That's the only way. I pass it, King.
All right. And my law is the apple of thine eye. All praise to the Most High. All right. Somebody said that it was 21 kills. For the last update that I understood from this,
I think they referring to the Texas school shooting.
Right. Exactly.
They ain't referring to the Buffalo. I think I think they kind of got confused when you said the shooting because I think they hopped on a little later. But you was referring to the Buffalo shooting.
Right.
But
even with the school shooting, the last update that I had on it was 14 kills. So I guess it did go up to 21. But that's what I figured out or saw at the time that I did see the 14.
Okay.
But going back to the Buffalo shooting, let's go to Ezekiel 35.
Yes, sir.
Ezekiel 35. I want to share my screen. Let me see. When could they see this? Start with verse 1. Ezekiel 35, start with verse 1. Sure. Let's go, son.
Yes, sir. What you want, King?
Ezekiel 35, start with 1.
This is the book of Ezekiel. And forgive me if I'm talking a little slurred, you guys. I just got a tooth pulled, so I'm still in a little pain, but we're going to get through this lesson. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against the Mount of Seir, against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus say the Lord God, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. And I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel.
All right, it said that he had a perpetual hatred. This means a hatred that goes on forever. It's everlasting, it's continuous, it ain't no end to it. So he had a perpetual hatred. Go ahead.
And has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
Shed the blood of the children of Israel. The descendants of the transatlantic slave trade.
Yes, sir.
The descendants of the people who were already in America before they brought loads and droves of our people from the west coast of Africa. Go ahead.
By the force of the sword.
By the force of the sword, through war, through the gun, through in the time period when they were using actual swords and arrows and all these weapons of war. Go ahead.
In the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
At the time where the people had got to a point where we were repenting, still killing us because the fear that if these people line back up with their power, with the creator who made the sun, the moon, and the stars, they can't be touched. So the system in the world that program and through society that perpetual hatred is through the sword physically, but then they work in a tactful way through the programming of the TV. Even as what the brother said earlier, how some of these events are staged. Now, that's a twofold thing. If I set a person up because I want something from it, it's staged. Even if I set you up to kill you, cut you off, or rob you, or whatever. Yeah, it is staged, but it can be successful. So I'm saying it because the Buffalo shooting very well could have been staged. I believe it to be so. Why? Because out of those people who were killed, you had Aaron Salter. And listen to his name, Aaron, Aharon, like the brother of Moses. Aaron Salter Jr., the security guard, who he had been on the workforce for 30 years, retired from the police force. They said that the shooter, this 18-year-old, Peyton, he came with heavy body armor. Now, in my head, as I'm analyzing this situation, this guy must know it's going to be somebody in here who can, you know what I'm saying, trade shots with him. Because if this is just a sporadic event or just a surprise, why is he really heavily armored? Helmet on. He had a helmet. Got the body armor, breastplates. What are you thinking? You must have had in your head that somebody in here got a shot, which in the event, this same security guard, Aaron Salter Jr., is the one who got one off on the shooter. But dude got the assault rifle. Now, I'm saying all this because of this, brothers and sisters. As we look more into the event, this same security guard who was retired, who decided to take on his day job as a security guard, he was making a car that ran off water. Not oil, not gas. So the powers that be, and we wrestle not with flesh and blood, they see that this is an attack or a threat to using gas. You know how much money, how that would affect the economy if we had vehicles that ran off water. Who wouldn't be taking a road trip? When I could just pull up at any gas station or my friend's house or at a national park and get some water and put it in my engine and be driving for 100 miles after that, time and time again. But to make it look more real, so it wouldn't be so obvious, yeah, it's gonna be some casualties, some unexpected casualties, some innocent lives taken. If I want to kill this one person who got this information that'll topple my whole empire, but I don't want people to know that I want to cut them off, that it's me, I'll kill everybody on the plane for that one person if I knew he was going to take a trip to so-and-so. Same type of event, brothers and sisters. We're going to kill extra people just so it won't be so obvious that it was a hit on this one man. I want to show this video, but again, we're streaming it through a different way than what we usually do. But what I can do, I'm going to drop the...
It should be straight, though, man.
But how would I run it through there?
What you mean?
Can y'all see my screen? Like, cause we got to share the screen for them to see what we looking
you can't
at.
share it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's when can I see it?
If y'all can see what's on my screen right now, give me a con in the comments. Let me see. They can't see it. Okay. How would I do it? I'm not sure. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna drop the link to this video here in the comments. This Aaron Salter. The brother came up with a engine.
They run from water.
They run off water. You know how much money that's gonna take out their pockets? But then we can see the wickedness of the people because that will be a benefit for humanity. So instead of letting that be out and be promoted, hey, we getting too much money off these folks spending bread on the oil and the gas. We can't let that happen. All right, let's go to Sirach 24 or Ecclesiasticus 24. Ecclesiasticus 24, brothers and sisters.
Which 124 and what, Cam?
Start with verse 1.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 24, verse 1. Wisdom shall praise herself.
Wisdom shall praise herself. Understanding, brothers, so we want to have the seal of the Holy Spirit. We want that seal on us that when time comes that we can get into the kingdom. And a part of that seal is wisdom. It says wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, with all that get understanding. Go ahead.
And shall glory in the midst of her people.
Mm-hmm.
In the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth and triumph before his power. I came out of the mouth of the Most High.
Wisdom came out of the mouth of the Most High.
And covered the earth as a cloud. I dwelt in high places, and my throne is in a cloudy pillar. I alone compass the circuit of heaven and walk in the bottom of the deep. In the waves of the sea and all the earth, and in every people and nation, I got a possession.
All right, it says in every people. So wisdom, we can see the ingenuity of the people working through Edomites, through Ishmaelites. Yeah, they all got a sense of understanding because the Most High created everything. All right, but go ahead.
With all these I saw rest.
With all the people, though, out of all the nations of the families of the earth, the Spirit is looking for a particular people to rest. Go ahead.
And in whose inheritance shall I abide? So the creator of all things
the creator of all things, go ahead,
gave me a commandment. And he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob.
Let thy dwelling be where?
In Jacob.
Let thy dwelling be in Jacob, the children of Israel. So out of all the people that invent things and make stuff and is intelligent, listen, the top minds of power, wisdom and knowledge and understanding are the people of the Most High, our people. So they allow, when we're talking about the categories and arenas of contesting, they allow us in the sports. Yeah, you can do that. Shoot the ball, run the football, do that. But when it come down to information, this is why they try to hide our history. This is why they distort and pollute our history.
That's just to interject for a second, King. And I'm pretty sure if you're familiar with history, one of the things that was forbidden for slaves to do was owning weapons and reading, of course. So they want some dumb Negroes. Exactly. That's why they try to dumb us down. Just like the brother saying, we dominate in all these sports, but guess what? We can dominate in math and science and other things as well. It just don't have to be sports or whatnot. We are very intelligent people because the Most High has bestowed their wisdom upon us as a people. All praises for him.
All praise to the Most High. You got more on it?
No, King, go ahead.
All right, let's go to Wisdom of Solomon.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going there, brothers and sisters, because the mind of Aaron Salter, this is a part of the mind of how this brother was able to come up with this engine. All right, and aside from that, in the time past of Detroit, when Flint, Michigan was the one that was broadcasted, but from a native of Detroit said it was all Detroit. The brother came up with a machine that drew water out of the atmosphere. The government came and shut it down. Then they took the machine. Why? Because that came from the ingenuity mind of a brother who understood it, had a way that was going to help the people. They don't want the people to be helped. But Wisdom of Solomon 6, start verse 17, talking about wisdom. This is why wisdom is important. This is why we want the seal of the Holy Spirit in the times where we seeing these signs come to pass. Go ahead.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 17. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love.
The very true beginning of her, to my wisdom, is the desire of discipline. So we got to want to have guidelines to follow, brothers and sisters. As the book tells us in 2 Timothy, about the latter times and the spirits that'll be running rapid. Said one of those in their list was incontinence, the lack of control. So we got to have a desire of discipline to be able to control our members, to control ourselves. That's what discipline is. Go ahead.
And the care of discipline is love.
And the care of discipline is love. Love for ourselves. I don't want to be doing any and everything. I don't want to be treating people in and every kind of way. Go ahead.
Verse 18. And love is the keeping of her laws.
And love is the keeping of her laws. And she's going to give you the same laws that the Father gives. Go ahead.
And the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption.
All right. And by abiding the laws of the Most High is the assurance or the guarantee of incorruption. You won't be defiled. Go ahead.
Verse 19. And incorruption make us near unto the Most High.
And the more pure, the more clean, the more obedient we are, it makes us closer to the Father. He can deal with us more. He can pour out into our cups. He can give us more wisdom. He can quicken our spirits. He can guide and order our steps. But as long as we dibbling and dabbling in nonsense and operating a mindset of lack of discipline, without the laws of the Most High, we're closer to corruption, which brings us closer to death.
That's right.
Which separates us from the Father. And when it comes down time to everything really shaking and it hits your house, you won't be protected. Go ahead.
Therefore, the desire of wisdom bring to a kingdom.
Therefore, the desire of wisdom bring us to a kingdom. And we're talking about the everlasting kingdom. We're talking about our names being written in the Lamb's Book of Life to be citizens of the New Jerusalem. That's what we want. All right, so we need the Holy Spirit. We need that wisdom. Let's see. That's all I want on it. Something else that I wanted to bring forth. Okay, because we can't show it how we wanted to. Looking at the time, we're talking about the signs of the times. If you're not aware, if I'm not mistaken, 2 years ago, they publicized that the CIA will have a public meeting talking about the chariots or UFOs or UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. All right, so and as we look and engaging in the book, in the time of Lot, before Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, the Most High sent angels. Those angels got there by means. In a time when we're looking in the book of Josephus, before the siege happened, when the people were instructed to get out of the land. The people were seeing all types of sights in the skies, in the firmament, signs in the to let the people know, like, man, it's time to make a different move. So on a high scale, we've been seeing a lot of things happening within these skies. We're seeing the chariots, we're seeing the phenomenon. And that's not just for naught, brothers and sisters. That's for us to take into consideration to know that we're closer than we have ever been. You got something you finna bring out?
Yeah, I want to read this passage.
Okay.
And what the brother is bringing out is regarding what's been in the news of late of what they call is UFOs, unidentified flying objects.
Mhm.
But we know, we read the book of Ezekiel, it tell you about the chariots of the Most High God. And Ezekiel gave a vision of what he had saw. And these things are coming to, it's coming to light. Like, that's why the Bible is such a great book. It's just so factual that we are being able to not only read about it, but actual see the prophecies unfolding right here today. And our ancestor yearn to know these things. Like they was asking Christ, like, what's gonna happen? And we in these times that they wanted to see, that they asked Christ for, they inquired, like, what will be the signs of the end times? What will be? And he was telling them in parables, these things gonna happen, this gonna happen, this, and we are seeing these things. And when it comes to the chariots, I was reading this book here. It's called The Crash. What is the crash? Go the chariots. The chariots of God, crash, go the chariots. It's a book written by, let's see, Clifford Wilson, who holds an MA, a biological degree, and a PhD. And I'm gonna read a passage in here. It says, in addition, the Bible gives us a clue as to the origin of gods who developed from men. That is, that men whose prowess was such that legends grew about them until they was defiled. We refer to Genesis chapter 10, the so-called Table of Nations. I quote from the book, another book of which I'm an author, In the Beginning of God. It's the document known as the Table of Nations. Hold on. I want to get to a point right here. This what the psychologist or the doctor wrote. He said the table itself is astonishingly accurate, according to the professor W.F. Albright, recognized as one of the greatest authorities on archaeology the world has seen. He says, in recent discoveries in the Bible lands, it stands absolutely alone in ancient literature without a remote parallel, even among the Greeks. The Table of Nations remains an astonishing, accurate document, shows such remarkably modern understanding of the ethnic and linguistic situation in the modern world, in spite of all its complexity, that scholars never fail to be impressed with the author knowledge of the subject. Archaeology has given a clear testimony to the accuracy of the chapter, for nearly all the names mentioned are now known. Once again, the Bible records have been substantiated in no certain uncertain manner, not only as regards the people who are in the center of the biblical history, but as regards as many other people as well. The Assyrians, the Medes, the Greeks, the Egyptians, and many other are referred to many ways that there are astonishingly accurate. So even our scholars know these things. Even the most well-renowned scientists, they know these things. They know these things to be true. They know that we've been dumbed down. We have been dumbed down to the point where nobody believes anything anymore. Everybody think the Bible is a fake book, but the Bible is not a fake book. The Bible is 120% accurate. And we are living it, we are seeing it right now before our eyes. So, like the class say, the signs of the times, we know the times that we are in. The scriptures say, without a vision, people should perish. We are breaking it down to you, giving you the vision to prepare your household, to start storing food, water, ammo, protecting yourself. And not only that, but putting on the full armor of the Most High God that you may withstand in those days, because no matter how much food you stored, all that, if you're not right with the Most High, it's vanity. So just remember that. I'm done, King.
Indeed. So I'm going to close with Luke 21. Luke 21, and as the brother was saying, 25.
Want to start at 23, King?
Yeah, we can start at 23.
21. This is the book, St. Luke, chapter 21, verse 23, and it reads, "But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled."
Until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Go ahead.
"And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring." Verse 26, "Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming upon the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory."
So all those things got to come to pass. We're seeing the waves and the tsunamis, the earthquakes, and
blood moons.
Exactly. The blue moons and the lunar eclipse, so on and so forth. But it said after that, then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Verse 28.
Verse 28. "And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draw near."
Then look up. So as we looking down, we're looking in our phones and scrolling on the social media. Don't let that cause you to have your head down so much to where you're not looking up to where the power come from the Most High. In these times, we got to be mindful of the source, the true source of everything, and it's the Most High. All right, question, comments, and concerns real quick. All right, I'm going to drop the email right here, right now, Yanika. Children of the prophets. Make sure I spell it right. Children of the prophets 144@gmail.com. And let's see, and I got the message for the other souls that want to be baptized. I'm trying to get it on a schedule where we can all do it at one time, but we do see the times, so we'll get it organized according to those y'all's schedule who can travel to Memphis, or if I have to come their way, the Father provide, then I will. Sister V, I'm thinking it's gonna be June 11th for you. I know you asked me would it be June 11th or June 17th. It'll be June 11th because you'll be healed up by then, huh?
I should be, yeah.
Indeed. So it'll be you and bro going in, as well as the brother from Arkansas, Jonesboro, if he's able to make it. All praise to the Most High. Oh, okay, indeed. Says you're gonna send some information to help you with the pain in the tooth. I'm gonna need it too. I'm gonna need that information as well. All right. If there's no other questions, comments, or concerns, we're gonna close out. I pray the word was edifying. Mashkal said clove oil. Indeed. Bless you for that. Okay, brothers and sisters, I'm not seeing any other questions, comments, or concerns. If you think of something later on through the week, remember children of the prophets 144@gmail.com for anything else in the meanwhile. Peace and blessings to y'all. Shabbat Shalom. All praise to the Most High.